Hola, and welcome to today's episode of Económicas Básicas with your host, Dario James Sanchez. Empezamos? So for today's episode, we're going to be talking about a topic that people seem to struggle with a lot. So we're going to hit it hard. We're talking about graphs today. People seem to struggle to get all the characteristics down, so we're going to go through them one by one with all the characteristics and a little bit of how they shift. The first one we're going to be talking about is the PPC, Production Possibilities Curve. So the PPC is all about measuring opportunity cost. It's about measuring how much of one good must we sacrifice in order to get more of another good, and obviously the other way around. So to do that, we have to graph both of those goods and how much we can produce in contrast with the other. So let's start with this graph. We start off with the title, and let's pretend we have macro land here, good old macro land. We're going to start with our axes, like any graph. And we're going to be putting the two goods on each of the axes. So let's say we have good Y up here, and good X down there. And then for the rest of this is pretty easy. You just need the data on how much of one good can be produced if another good is being produced at this quantity. So normally what these are going to look like is either a straight line or a curve. In reality, most of the time they're going to be a curve due to increasing opportunity costs. So we're going to draw one as a curve. Start anywhere, however the data suggests it. And then assuming we have our plotted points, draw it to wherever it needs to be. Now we're going to be identifying 5 different points on this graph. We've got point A up here, point B right here, and point C right there. Make an imaginary points over here called point D, and then up here called point E. Why do I mark these points? Well, for starters, these 3 points are all what's considered efficient. They are directly on the line. Why is that? Because at this point, this much of good X can be produced when this much of good Y is being produced. Same for B, same for C. D can be done. We can produce this much good X and this much good Y because we're below the graph, but it's not efficient. We could be producing, if we wanted the good X to stay where it was, up here, or good Y stay where it was, over here. So this is not an efficient point, but it is possible. Point E up here is what we call unattainable. You just cannot produce this much of any good because it's completely outside of the curve. If we produce this much good X, the most good Y we can produce is over here, or vice versa. So the only way this point would ever be achievable is if our economy grew, economic growth. What that would look like is a shift. The curve would shift outwards in however manner, and that would be reflected with an outward arrow. Now, for whatever reason, our economy grew, and now point E is now achievable, and all those 3 points are now not efficient. A new unattainable point would be out here, and any efficient points would be somewhere along this curve. PPC is pretty easy to understand, pretty easy to do, and mostly that's the only type of shift you're going to be experiencing. The rest is just movement. If you start at B, move to A, and however which way it goes along the line. So the biggest thing you have to worry about is reaching an unattainable point via economic.
See this as my advantage, I got absolute advantage. EDP gon' be your carriage, wrap this unit up like bandage. Now y'all better take advantage, cause come time for you to manage. Show the cluster like a savage, or this vinyl do some damage. Yeah. Here I got a PPC, APC and PCP. This shit ain't be made for free, or downward so with ABC. And point C looking head of B, but point way go same way as C. But point B got that drip that be effective for but DX. And this ball gon' stay on top, but I'm calling it a price for. And once I surpass hit, I guess you never really want more. And once I see them drop, you never get me what you asked for. So ride that equal point and lead the Congress at the front. Unemployment in this nation, sometimes we gon' see inflation. Now remember your taxation, are you down for demonstration? Fed gon' bless her with donation, know about banks are like crustacean. Interest rate gon' slow temptation, so next week you on vacation. You may notice I'm just focused on cash, that's why I'm GDP. You measuring what I give out, no productivity. But once you throw that R on that G, it's when it's clear to see per person is what really counts. But don't psych up for me, a lesson of importance, so don't take it all distorted. Little bits off for your storage, so you're not left out in orbit. So there's no trying to shortage, bring supply to the shortage. And I'm not trying to sound morbid, you might actually get a mortgage. You can call me GDP cause I take count of this production. And if you go take the C, you know I'll cook you up like oven. But without all of the heat, you know I rock with that induction. I got tats all on my face so I remember all the function. Finding opportunity costs, it's what I'm all about. A Bentley or a diamond on the watch, it's all just for the cloud. And I'm the reason why banks got reserve on the main account. My MPC be so damn high, don't know my money's whereabouts.
Why is a V, why is a F? Talk on my name, shit to the left, going too fast, call me obsessed. Couple of verses, you know got breasts and face you got gon' come from a neck. I might cause a change, another reassess. Probably not gon' be on the test, but it's a vocab, consider you blessed. Flipping a nine, gon' be on the block. Paddock on wrist, ain't missing a rock. I know supply, he point at the shark. He pull a cam and post like a stalk. And I bust a rhyme, grit like a hawk. Taking a sec to check on the clock. 3 a.m., I'ma sleep like a rock. Tell colors, boy, we got it unlocked.
For watching, that's all we're going to be covering in today's episode. Tune in tomorrow for some more riveting information about AP macroeconomics. Let me know if you enjoyed. Again, thanks for watching. Later, everybody.